Welcome. This is Recidiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy.
How can I help?
Aye. My love. Love you, know.
Okay, I spent a couple days learning some stuff. We're gonna head back to Red. Still can't remember the dude's name. Red Eagle's tomb. So, what I learned, even though I'm not changing major mods, I'm still sorting loot and adding things which can change the ID numbers for items. So I've been slowly over time putting hundreds of items in my sell box. And then once I did the new outfit, which added new items, everything from my sell box that's been a duplicate waiting to sell so if I have like one silver ring in there, it will sell all the silver rings in my inventory. So considering I use this auto looter, it was like, I'm sure it was thousands of things. Plus my inventory was so ridiculously lagged that it took about 15 seconds to select an item. Okay, I got it. I found Red Eagle's sword from the inside the museum. I still can't get Giordano's ring is on display. That's the ring that I'm supposed to place in Windhelm for a minor quest, but I can't load it, and it won't let me take it out of its display, so that quest might have to go. But yeah, I've been saying, even though I've been saying do as I say and not as I do, I want to test things out and try things without starting a new game and taking 15 hours to get to the point where I'm at, so I keep testing things. Once again, don't do that. So this list is, unless I come up against something absolutely critical, I'm really gonna do my best to not do anything to change it. In my new list, I've been playing with some things that are just amazing in a technical sense, but are kind of janky practically. So I know I had said in a prior one that I was thinking about, recording my voice so I read the books, or recording a voice for the Dragonborn. And there already are mods for that. And there are AI generated Dragonborn voices, so I downloaded and installed the Bella voice for the Dragonborn voiceover. I also installed a male voice. I'm enjoying it. It's certainly a novelty, and the voicing really isn't bad. It's just, it can get really random. So every time you open, like in my new game, every time I open my journal, the character says something random about a quest or journaling. Every time I open my map, the character says something random about the map. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more research on the Solitaire. But it can be hilarious. Like, you could try to pick. You never know, if you go to like pick a lock, it could either say "fuck, this is locked," or say I am a master at lockpicking, and it will say the same thing. You know, it will you'll get the same random thing whether you're good at it or not. Um, okay, I'm still supposed to summon Durnavir. Let me see if this is a better place to do it. So I'm enjoying it. It is a little bit buggy and will occasionally. I also have a male voice installed for male characters.
It's a good thing you're cute.
And
My
every now and then I'll open my journal or something and hear a deep, growly Batman voice say something. It certainly adds. It adds something. I'm enjoying it. At least I've left it in. Um,
turn you in for that bounty myself.
okay, I have to point at the ground for this. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was what was happening. I
can
wasn't.
Time I am set free from that prison.
Die!
I win.
Hear now the second word of soul.
Okay, I wasn't pointing at the ground.
Rise, meaning to tear your enemy's soul from its living vessel.
Okay, so I need to wait until that cooldown, and then I'll try it again. Now I know how to do it. Okay, so I have
bleak, isn't it?
debugged my gear. I have debugged my inventory. Everything should be better. Because, yeah, things were getting really laggy because I unwittingly had several thousand extra things in my inventory. I'm also reorganizing books. I reinstalled. I took some books out of the. So you see now I have 2920, a couple more not volumes. They were in the. They had been put into the library. So what I'm doing in my new run through and what I might do here is when I go to the. Go to the Dragonborn gallery, right in the room where you drop off relics, there's a bookcase. So the smartest thing for me to do to clear out my inventory and otherwise is to just put the majority of these books in and take out maybe, 10 or 20 at a time and swap them out so that they're not available to be put back into the back in automatically. So it is. I thought the books just went into the book return, but it does pull books out for display. So there are also so I had tried audiobooks of Skyrim before, but it was a little janky and a little frustrating in its in the way that it works. So the original mod works when you pick up a book. It will ask you, do you want to read it manually or do you want to play the audio? Now the audio can't be paused, so if you start it, you can only play it or stop it. Now that remains, but what was so frustrating is I couldn't tell which books, once you say you're going to read it manually, it still marks it as read, so it's difficult for me to know which books I had or had not read. There is also there are two mods that will help me with that. One is the immersive interactions, that you can use the Shift E key to pick up a book and just put it in your inventory without reading it. And there's another one called Mark Books Unread. So I can go through my inventory and say, it looks like I read that, but I know I didn't. I'm not going to add these mods to this run through because, again, I'm not going to touch this list anymore, or I risk really screwing up the museum's cataloging, and it's just. But I'm enjoying that because I can carry around books, and when I'm crafting. Mostly when I'm crafting or when I'm traveling or if I'm in a dungeon I know well, I can be playing books while I'm doing that. then I mark them as read, then I put them back in. And if I pick up a book, I can store it until later. So I've developed a kind of cool way just to do the audio. The Skyrim audiobooks, some of it's hit or miss. Some of the good books are good, some of them are bad, but you just figure it out and don't listen to that book. But about 600 of them are recorded. All right, so we're done with the most of the miscellaneous, and yeah, now we'll just start doing some of these better. Do more of these. All right, I've never even found Gelidides astrolabe. So I'm enjoying playing with that. I'm also playing with the go to bed mod and the spooning aspect, which means like I can lay down and Kaidan can lay down and we can actually like hug each other while we're sleeping, which is kind of cool. But that brings up a new role play issue, which is jammies. Oops. Oh, it's a checkpoint thing. All right, guys. Hello. So, I'm kind of getting a hybrid sense of, huh. Okay, there's a road there. I'm gonna have to get to the top of this mountain, so it looks. I've never done this, so let's see. Ooh, there might be a road over here. But so that gives me another issue is Kaidan and I both laying down to go to bed in full armor, which is uncomfortable, which might mean that I need to alter the Skyrim outfit system, which I'm now used to, and switch to a system where I situationally change my physical gear. And that's a big project. So but I really like the role play immersive options, and all of this stuff can be, switched on and off. But those are the three main things that I've been playing with, and there's a little good, a little bad. I got the weather idols to work so that when it's cold, people look like they've got their hands crossed and they're over their chest and they look like they're shivering. I did take out. Come on, we can do it. Nope, we can't. I did take out sky shards just because I am reaching. Well, I have reached long past reached my limit of ESP files, and I am not a master of patching things. I'm the opposite of that. So unless there's a patch for it or a converted file to ESL or ESL, then I kind of have to do without it. And also the sky shards adds a permanent item to my inventory that just keeps respawning and respawning. I wish it had an MCM so that you could choose to, not have quest spam and not have, an item in your inventory that continually places itself there for configuration. I would like to be able to configure it once and then not have to navigate around that item too often, but I don't have that. So, yeah, that one had to go. Yeah, I'm getting this, come on, guys. I was probably supposed to do this during the Windcaller Pass quest. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's just up on a mountainside. Gelidity's astrolabe provides a daily power ability to scan your surroundings for undiscovered map markers. Between 1 and 5 map markers will be revealed depending on your archaeology skill level. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, greater research notes. And then even though it tells me I've read it already, read it for the points. Okay. They all look the same, but you do get research points. Nope. What is this? Huh. Okay. I'm not mining for some reason, and I don't know why this stuff's on fire. But it looks like Gelidity died to something fiery up here. Oh, alright, that is the... I don't know why it's... Yeah, Guardians of the Divine. I believe that's Creation Club. Alright, Delrune's Compass. Alright, so if I go to Fort Dunstad and use Gelidity's whatever it is if it's an astrolabe or not. If I use it, I might actually discover that point and be able to fast travel to it, huh? Gelidity's Journal. This may be my final entry unless the storm passes soon. I've exhausted my supplies, burned all the available wood I could reach, and my hands were so damn cold my axe slipped from my hands and fell down the cliff face, so I can't even chop down a nearby tree for more wood or build a shelter. The last few planks I have keep me from getting soaked and frozen in my bedroll at night, but I may have to even burn that soon. 3 nights ago I was studying the stars along the path of the 7,000 steps, looking for a new vantage point of the aurora and tracking the constellations in the sky when I saw a glittering streak across the sky. A very unusual meteorite was falling from the sky and actually made landfall in the hills of the northeastern face of the Great Mountain. Oh, it was a meteor. I opted to go off trail and seek it out and found the impact crater, but while assembling the site, a massive storm rolled in and pinned me in place. My ink quickly froze, so I'm making this final entry in charcoal. I really worry that this may be the end. Oh. You know, people associated with the gallery just don't necessarily do well. Okay. Oh, I can't favorite this. That's a shame. I wonder if it gives me a power then. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it gives me you don't favorite the power. I mean, you don't favorite the item, it gives you a power. Okay. Map updated. Okay, I found something, but it didn't actually tell me what I found. That's not all that useful, guys. Eh. I don't even remember the last time I used Malrus's. Alright, I'm gonna make a group from the Codex and the Astrolabe. Okay, Malrus's Codex. I'm gonna create a new group. Confirm. So these are going to be things that I can use once a day. Try to remember to use them. Malrus and Gelidity. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but... Oy. Now it's gone? Where's the power? Okay. And now I don't see it. Oh, Gelidity. Okay, there it is. Okay, so because I can't use it? No, I can't even see it in my favorites? Wow, okay. Okay, guys. I'm gonna study. And yeah, it probably gave me to a point to something that I can't even see. So, you know, I appreciate some of these skills, but in practice they can be frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna go to find Delrune's compass. It is northeast.
Beautiful out here.
And yeah, it's... Oh, I've tried this before, haven't I? Yes, I have. This is the one that leads me to a blank location. And I don't learn these things, so I'm probably gonna be back quite a bit. Alright, next one, Arcane's tool bag. We need to head southeast.
You little
Fuck
shit!
off, mud crab. Jeez. Like, why? Hello, pygmy mammoth. I love you. You're not like the asshole mud crabs. Yeah, I should really download one with nature again and make mud crabs non-aggro. I also installed in my new run through a sound overhaul, a bunch of sound overhauls really, not a suite of sound overhauls. I
Your lips
needed,
look cool, should
I needed some of them just to get Dragonborn, the Dragonborn voiceover. Wow, say that again. Dragonborn voiceover to work.
Alright, focus.
And then I
Don't
just
lose yourself.
went
Focus.
all in.
Bumping the places you'd have to
And
be
now,
vigilant.
there's
Slow
also
and steady now.
Uh, there's also an additional mod. I had it a few years ago, and I had lost it somewhere along the line. Sometimes I lost my like entire list and had to put it together, just mostly if a laptop died. Now I have them like on backup on an external drive, which saves me a lot of frustration and heartache. But it gives me about 30 sliders to adjust like, lots and lots of different sounds. And at first,
I don't know what I'd fucking do if I ever lost you.
when I logged in, the first thing that happened is I could just hear the screaming of pissed off otters resounding off the mountainsides. And so one of the first things to go was the otters because I couldn't figure out how to adjust their volume. But I did learn, turn down master volume and then raise up other values. So the otters could stay now, but I'm really tired of having pissed off giant otters try to kill me. So they don't end up being a serene, lovely addition to the game. They just kind of, turn into assholes. So the otters had to go. But I did add in the frogs and the turtles. I haven't seen a turtle yet, but I haven't made it to an ocean yet. I'm still in the testing phase. Like, I downloaded a really cool outfit and then I got everything all set up. I'm like, ooh, this is amazing. And the moment I got on my horse, the skirt of the outfit flattened out around me like a halo. I couldn't fix it. So it's just things like that that make me go, okay, gotta restart. Or the last thing that happened is I really, really like the guard's armor replacer, but it affects leveled lists. So everything else might be working, but the guard's armor replacer in my original setup was okay, but something got added to the leveled list for that I have to make a bashed patch to fix it, and that's gonna take me a while. So I'll play for like an hour and go, why do you, this particular guard, have a helmet? You're not supposed to have a helmet. Okay, here's a story. You can see the skeleton and the tool bag right there. This is not fun trying to get to it because obviously they died trying to get to it for a reason.
Life to deserve the punishment of that.
So it's just things like that. Just even trying to change my clothes can turn into a 3-hour thing where I realize at a certain point,
but damn, I'm glad I did.
gotta be careful. You can't actually reach it. Okay. There are many unique items which provide bonuses while they're in your inventory, which can also be displayed in the museum. Since miscellaneous items, keys, etc. cannot be favorited, placing them inside Arcane's tool bag by using it in your inventory will maintain the effects of these items and prevent them from being sorted. It can also be utilized to activate Explorer relics contained within instead of finding and activating each one. It also provides convenient division of inventory, though weight is translated to the bag itself for all items inside. So yeah, if you want to carry all of the Legacy of the Dragonborn relics, you could in this bag. Pretty sure if I try to. Alright.
Wow. I thought I was impressive with a bow. I didn't expect to find my equal in archery. But you shoot like death itself.
Okay, so the tool bag works. It's an item. So you yeah, I still can't favorite it. Arcane's tool bag can be used to store certain relics or explorer tools that add special effects but may be taken by the library sorter. You can also activate the abilities of these tools without removing them from the bag. So I can add items. Yeah, I'll add the codex and the astrolabe. And even though you can't actually favorite the tools, I don't believe. Yeah, that doesn't make it any better, guys. Ugh. Ay, alright. I find the tools frustrating. I say this with love. Picky's Resonator and Picky's Beacon are in, Solstheim. Oh, wow. What are you doing all the way up there? Okay. So I can make a tour around Solstheim. I can probably bring Kaidan with me because we're not going to be going up into the Tel Mithrin Tower just to find the relics. And I'll watch him carefully because it's very obvious when he's bugged. He will not follow you. He just stands like a statue. He might port with you. Okay, so I need to go northwest. So I'll just watch. Yeah, this is weird. I don't see the arrow, but we'll see if I get closer. So what usually happens when I make a new list is I get irritated at having just spent 6 hours on something and then realizing I have to go back to the beginning, and I will just log out and go, I don't mind, that's okay, I'll just live with it. Like with the guards' helmets, I'm like, guards should have helmets, that's fine. And then somewhere like the next morning or something, I'll just go, nope, that's it, you don't have that save game anymore. I'll delete all of it to make myself redo it and be motivated. So that's me. Yeah, I will just delete all of something. Just go ahead, do it. Just you're gonna fix it now, right? To motivate myself. It does work because it will tweak me every time I see a guard with a helmet and go, I should have fixed that. This is very strange. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to get there from the south, correct? Alright, I'm gonna go south. And back up. Okay. I don't think I've even been over here. What the hell is that all about? If I follow the river, I might be able to find it. This is weird. Hello, puppy. I don't want to kill you. Just leave me alone. Ugh. Jerk. So, I believe there's still one guard in Solitude that has a helmet, but most of the rest of them don't. And that Okay. I need to learn more about my Rybash. But mostly, I mean, I can't solve the majority of these problems myself. The only thing that I can do is scour Reddit or a mod's comments to hope someone else had the problem and that someone else fixed it. You're carrying mead, aren't you? You're not really a quest item. I don't need the Ethereum Wars. Um, is this in I think, yeah, Deep Folk Crossing. I think I'll be back here for the Ethereum Wars. There's some sort of container or quest item up here. Yeah. Alright. But I have discovered it. I know the actual ford is in the south in the rift. Alright. I need to go northwest. I don't understand. I don't think I can actually go up this way. Right, here it is. I don't think I can activate it now. Oh, I already got it. How did I not discover? Alright. Confusing. Jury is still kind of out on the Dragonborn voiceover, although the Kaidan mod is actually included. She talks to Kaidan, although she says his name differently. Kaidan, Kaidan. But still, you know, I complain about stuff, but it's amazing to even have it. Okay. Let's see. Wow, that's still a long way out there, folks, along the coast. Yeah, it says I cannot go that way. I don't understand. Yeah. It's way off the map. Alright, let me do a quick search. Let me see what I'm supposed to do with Lucas' pickaxe. Okay, so the description is it can mine Stalrim and gives a chance of extra fragments and keystones at dig sites, which is fine. Oh, okay. That's Forgotten Vale. So yeah, I would need to go back to the balcony. Forgotten Vale. Okay. Travel to Forgotten Vale. Okay, cool. That makes more sense. Oh, see, and here is where I get really screwed up because it's sending me in two different directions because there's so many quest markers. Let's see, the local maps here aren't great. Okay, the portal to Shrine of Radiance is the one I want. Okay, that was helpful.
Your lips look cold. Should I warm them up a bit?
Alright.
You look tired, little dragon. Let's take the day off. Let me pamper you and show you how much I love you. Everything else can fucking wait.
Do I want to jump into the void? I guess I don't have many choices, huh? We're gonna jump into the void. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. We jumped into the void. It's very voidy here. And lots of Falmer. Kaidan is not going to be able to find me for a while. What? Oh, it's a bone chime. Okay, who? Where? What? Why? Alright, I'm just gonna go toward the thing. It's close. Looks like it's pretty close to up here. Really? You're not helping.
You'll die this day.
Alright, that's frustrating. I imagine I need to be up higher. I mean, that's really obvious. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that like that was a giant revelation, but up higher in a way that is helpful, and I don't see that I can do that from here. Who is doing that? And would you stop, please? Oh man, now I'm much lower. That isn't what I wanted to do. Okay. Alrighty, let's see if this leads up in a useful way. Nope, just leads to more Falmer. Do you lead up in a useful way? No. Ugh. I don't want to go to the glacial crevice. I don't want to be here. Alright, I'm going to see if clairvoyance does anything, but I really, really doubt it. I think you have to like add the pathing for that, and Legacy of the Dragonborn doesn't really do that. They just want you to suffer. Okay. Oh, something diseased me. Just perfect. Oh, it should be caressing prayer. Yeah. Alright, I am going to wander aimlessly for quite a while, it seems. I was just here. We already know we can't do that. I don't know how to get up there.
Pity you can't cast that muffle spell on me, eh? Maybe then I could sneak for shite.
And I know I've already tried this. Because there are already dead bodies here. Will you... Look, I don't want to take out my frustration on you. But there is frustration, and now you're dead, so draw your own conclusions. I don't know. This is not fun. I'm not going to be able to figure this out by zoning out. I am going to clip up here. I imagine You have to go up there and jump down. I'm going to try to figure that out, but I'm going to reverse engineer it. And, oh, well. Okay. Oh, look how janky. Okay, I just fell straight through. So you have to be on this very narrow pathway. Okay. Luca's pickaxe can be used to mine Stalrim and provides a chance of yielding extra fragments and keystones from excavation sites. Cool. Luca's knapsack has greater research notes. Let me read them. Alright, so I'm going to try to figure out how to get here in a different playthrough, but honestly, it looks like you just have to memorize the location, because okay, so you have to jump from the balcony to land in exactly the right spot. And I'm going to see where am I? I'm at the bridge in the Forgotten Vale. Yeah, that's really random, guys. So, amazing to the folks who can figure that out. I'm not one of them. Okay. So some of these are very much like the gems. They're so... Alexi's key is in Greywater Grotto. My auto loot isn't going to allow the full frustration of this quest to really sink in, but it's kind of a callback to Oblivion, the Shivering Isles. There's a Shivering Isles dungeon where you're essentially torturing adventurers, driving them mad and getting them killed, and one of the options is to just make adventurers need a key and then provide them with thousands and thousands of keys that they have to sort through. So you're just making them crazed.
Your lips look cold. You alright, Trouble? You alright?
I'm gonna ask him to set up a tent.
Aye, we ought to make camp. Sure thing. Aye, alright.
So Alexi's key is hidden in, like, I don't know how many, but a lot of false keys, which in the vanilla game means you just have to pick up 100 or however many keys there are. And if you have an auto loot like mine, it's just like, oh, cool, there it is, because I have automatically picked up all of the dummy keys. Oh my god. Okay. No, that's a horse. No. Okay.
You know, I've come to enjoy your company on the road.
I don't know where
The
the
view
camp
is
is,
always...
so...
Do you need something?
Can you back up the campsite?
Gonna need to restitch that seam when we camp tonight. Won't be holding if we get bad weather.
Oh, keep in mind, I have done this in vanilla. I have picked up hundreds of keys. I did do it. Alright, I'm just gonna use shelter. I'm checking. Okay, you can check supplies, ingredients, and food separately. I just want to check something. Yeah, you can sort through all of your supplies: raw food, cooked firewood, gems, ingots, and ore. Okay, so this is a good resource to being able to pull things out of the um, linked storage. I'm going to try to utilize that more in my next playthrough because, uh, yeah, my inventory, although it's inconvenient, it's misery for the game itself to try to sort. So I need to get better about blacklists. Second Seed, Book 5 of 2920, The Last Year of the First Era by Karlovac Tamil. 10 Second Seed 2920, The Imperial City, Cyrodiil. Your Imperial Majesty, said the potentate Versadai Shai, opening the door to his chamber with a smile. I have not seen you lately. I thought perhaps you were indisposed with the lovely Rija. She is taking the baths of Mir Korp, the Emperor Remon said miserably. Please come in. I have reached the stage where I can only trust three people: you, my son the prince, and Rija, said the Emperor petulantly. My entire council is nothing but a pack of spies. What seems to be the matter, your Imperial Majesty? Asked the potentate Versudashe sympathetically, drawing close the thick curtains in his chamber. Instantly all sound outside the room was extinguished, echoing footsteps in the marble halls and birds in the springtide gardens. I've discovered that a notorious poisoner, an Orma tribesman from Black Marsh called Kachisha, was with the army at Kaer Sivai, where we were encamped when my son was poisoned, before the battle at Boldrum. I'm sure she would have preferred to kill me, but the opportunity didn't present itself. The Emperor fumed. The council suggests that we need evidence of her involvement before we prosecute. Of course they would, said the potentate thoughtfully, particularly if one or more of them was in on the plot. I have a thought, your Imperial Majesty. Yes, said Ramon impatiently. Out with it. Tell the council you're dropping the matter, and I will send out the guard to track the Cachita down and follow her. We will see who her friends are, and perhaps get an idea of the scope of this plot on your Imperial Majesty's life. Yes, said Ramon with a satisfied frown. That's a capital plan. We will track this scheme to whomever it leads to. Decidedly, your Imperial Majesty, smiled the potentate, parting the curtains so the Emperor could leave. In the hallway outside was Versadashai's son, Savirin Shorak. The boy bowed to the Emperor before entering the potentate's chamber. Are you in trouble, father? Whispered the Akaviri lad. I heard the Emperor found out about what's-her-name, the poisoner. The great art of speechcraft, my boy, said Versadashai to his son, is to tell them what they want to hear in a way that gets them to do what you want them to do. I need you to get a letter to Kachita and make certain that she understands that if she does not follow the instructions perfectly, she is risking her own life more than ours. 13 Second Seed 2920, Mir Korp, Cyrodiil. Rija sank luxuriantly into the burbling hot spring, feeling her skin tingle like it was being rubbed by millions of little stones. The rock shelf over her head sheltered her from the misting rain, but let all the sunshine in, streaming in layers through the branches of the trees. It was an idyllic moment in an idyllic life, and when she was finished, she knew that her beauty would be entirely restored. The only thing she needed was a drink of water. The bath itself, while wonderfully fragrant, tasted always of chalk. Water, she cried to her servants. Water, please. A gaunt woman with rags tied over her eyes ran to her side and dropped a goatskin of water. Rija was about to laugh at the woman's prudery. She herself was not ashamed of her naked body, but then she noticed through a crease in the rags that the old woman had no eyes at all. She was like one of the Orma tribesmen Rija had heard about but never met, born without eyes. They were masters of the other senses. The Lord of Mir Korp hired very exotic servants, she thought to herself. In a moment, the woman was gone and forgotten. Rija found it very hard to concentrate on anything but the sun and the water. She opened the cork, but the liquid within had a strange metallic smell to it. Suddenly, she was aware that she was not alone. Lady Rija, said the captain of the Imperial Guard, you are, I see, acquainted with Kachisa? I've never heard of her, stammered Rija before becoming indignant. What are you doing here? This body is not for your leering eyes. Never heard of her. When we saw her with you not a minute ago, said the captain, picking up the goat skin and smelling it. Brought you nervous ichor, did she? To poison the Emperor with? "Captain," said one of the guards, running up to him quickly, "we cannot find the Argonian. It is as if she disappeared into the woods." "Yes, they're very good at that," said the captain. "No matter, though. We've got her contact at court. That should please His Imperial Majesty. Seize her." As the guards pulled the writhing, naked woman from the pool, she screamed, "I'm innocent. I don't know what this is all about, but I've done nothing. The Emperor will have your heads for this." "Yes, I imagine he will," smiled the captain, "if he trusts you." 21 Second Seed 2920, Gideon, Blackmarsh. The Sow and Vulture Tavern was this sort of out-of-the-way place that Zook favored for these sorts of interviews. Besides himself and his companion, there were only a couple of old sea dogs in the shadowy room, and they were more unconscious from drink than aware. The grime of the unwashed floor was something you felt rather than saw. Copious dust hung in the air, unmoving in the sparse rays of dying sunlight. "You have experience in heavy combat?" asked Zook. "The reward is good for this assignment, but the risks are great as well." "Certainly I have combat experience," replied Miramore haughtily. "I was at the Battle of Bodrum just 2 months ago. If you do your part and get the Emperor to ride through Dosia Pass with a minimal escort on the day and the time we've discussed, I'll do my part. Just be certain that he's not traveling in disguise. I'm not going to slaughter every caravan that passes through in the hopes that it contains Emperor Remen." Zook smiled, and Miramore looked at himself in the Kuthringi's reflective face. He liked the way he looked. Consummate, confident, professional. "Agreed," said Zook, "and then you shall have the rest of your gold." Zook placed the large chest onto the table between them. He stood up. "Wait a few minutes before leaving," said Zook. "I don't want you following me. Your employers wish to maintain their anonymity if by chance you are caught and tortured." "Fine by me," said Miramore, ordering more grog. Zook rode his mount through the cramped, labyrinthine streets of Gideon, and both he and his horse were happy to pass through the gates into the country. The main road to Castle Giovese was flooded, as it was every year in springtide, but Zook knew a shorter way over the hills. Riding fast under trees drooping with moss and treacherous slime-coated rocks, he arrived at the castle gates in 2 hours' time. He wasted no time in climbing to Tavia's cell at the top of the highest tower. "What did you think of him?" asked the Empress. "He's a fool," replied Zook, "but that's what we want for this sort of assignment." 32nd Seed, 2920, Thurzo Fortress, Cyrodiil. Regia screamed and screamed and screamed. Within her cell, her only audience was the giant grey stones, crusted with moss but still sturdy. The guards outside were deaf to her as they were deaf to all prisoners. The Emperor, miles away in the Imperial City, had likewise been deaf to her cries of innocence. She screamed, knowing well that no one would likely ever hear her again. 31 Second Seed 2920, Kaidan Pass, Cyrodiil. It had been days, weeks, since Turala had seen another human face, Cyrodiil or Dunmer. As she trod the road, she thought to herself how strange it was that such an uninhabited place such as Cyrodiil had become the imperial province, seat of an empire. Even the Bosmer and Valen Wood must have more populated forests than this Heartland wood. She thought back. Was it a month ago, 2, when she crossed the border from Morrowind into Cyrodiil? It had been much colder then, but other than that, she had no sense of time. Guards had been brusque, but as she was carrying no weaponry, they elected to let her through. Since then, she had seen a few caravans, even shared a meal with some adventurers camping for the night, but met no one who would give her a ride to her town. Turala stripped off her shawl and dragged it behind her. For a moment, she thought she heard someone behind her and spun around. No one was there, just a bird perched on a branch, making a sound like laughter. She walked on and then stopped. Something was happening. The child had been kicking in her belly for some time now, but this was a different kind of spasm. With a groan, she lurched over to the side of the path, collapsing into the grass. Her child was coming. She lay on her back and pushed, but she could barely see with her tears of pain and frustration. How had it come to this, giving birth in the wilderness all by herself to a child whose father was the Duke of Mournhold? Her scream of rage and agony shook the birds from the trees. The bird that had been laughing at her earlier flew down to the road. She blinked, and the bird was gone, and in its place a naked elf man stood, not as dark as a Dunmer, but not as pale as the Altmer. She knew at once it was an alien, a wild elf. Turella screamed, but the man held her down. After a few minutes of struggle, she felt a release and then fainted away. When she awoke, it was to the sound of a baby crying. The child had been cleaned and was lying by her side. Jarella picked up her baby girl, and for the first time that year, felt tears of happiness stream down her face. She whispered to the trees, "Thank you," and began walking with her babe in her arms down the road to the west. The years continued in mid-year. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.